Hi guys, my name is Dede. Welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, it's lovely to have you. But if you're old, hey boo, it's nice to have you back. In today's recipe, I'm going to teach you how to make my ultimate creamy, delicious, decadent, soft mashed potatoes. These are garlic flavored mashed potatoes. So if you're interested in this recipe, join me and let's get started. So in this bowl, I have 6 large potatoes, which I'm going to peel with my potato peeler. I love to use my potato peeler instead of a knife because the potato peeler takes just the right amount of the skin off, leaving the potatoes intact and looking really good. Okay, but if you don't have a potato peeler, go ahead and use your knife, but just be careful so that you do not peel too much of the actual potato off. Now that we are done peeling, I'll just wash all of them nicely and I'm going to dice them into cubes. I don't want to make them too small, neither do I want to make them big, just the right sizes for them to be able to cook really fast and really nicely. You want to try and get all of them to be equal sizes so that they can all cook at the same time. If some are small and others are big, they're going to cook at different times and you wouldn't want that. Okay, now that we are done, we put them in a pot of water and then add some salt and cook it. About 12 minutes into cooking time, I'm going to insert a fork into my potatoes to see if it's really done. Okay, so when you insert the fork into it, it should probably want to break apart or just go in smoothly. Then you know your potatoes are done. You take it off, strain it, and then put it back on the stove. Now the technique I'm using here is to try to get excess water out of the potatoes. We want our potatoes to be fluffy, our mashed potatoes to be fluffy. So this is one technique that's going to ensure that, okay? And then I'm going to leave the potatoes to sit for about 5 minutes to cool down a bit before I go ahead to mash them. And whilst I wait, I'm just prepping some spring onions here. I cut the white side and then the green part and then separate them on a plate to use later. And also I'm going to peel 2 cloves of garlic that I'll be using later. Okay, you see that the first one I tried to crush into it slightly so that it can release more of the garlic flavors. We're going to set this aside and then use it later as well. So now it's good for us to mash our potatoes. You can use this normal potato masher, but I do not like it. I like my potatoes really nice and light and fluffy, so I love to use my potato ricer, and this is it right here. This is going to mash my potatoes in less than a minute and I'll be good to go. Now, one reason why I did not mash my potatoes right away, right after taking it off the fire, is that when you mash it right away, it's going to inculcate some form of starch in it. It's going to activate some starch in it, but when it's beginning to cool down, not totally cool. If it's totally cool, it's going to be difficult to mash, but when it's a bit cooled down, it's very easy for it to come out and it's nice, and then it comes out very fluffy. So that's another trick of getting very fluffy mashed potatoes. Once I'm done mashing my potatoes, I'll be melting some unsalted butter, and this is 1 stick of unsalted butter or about half cup unsalted butter. You don't want to use salted butter because you want to be able to control the quantity or amount of salt that you take into your mashed potatoes. I also have here some cooking cream which I had already started warming up, so I just brought it out and then added my 2 cloves of garlic. I'm going to put it back in the microwave to heat for about 3 good minutes. Now I'm adding the white part of my spring onions into my potatoes, okay, and then I've added some butter as well. I'll be adding all of the butter, but I just like to add it in 2 bits just so it doesn't come out soupy. So once you do that, mix everything up really nicely to make sure that every part of the potato has got some nice butter. Okay, now this is coming together really quickly and it's so amazing. Now I'm done heating up my cream, my cooking cream, so I'm just about to take out the cloves of garlic from it, and it's nicely and beautifully infused, not overwhelming at all. Now I'll be adding up my cooking cream to my mashed potatoes, but I'll be doing it in bits. So I did this in about 4 bits. Okay, I'll be doing it in bits because if you add all of it, it's just going to come out so soupy and so liquidy. You don't want that. So adding it in bits is going to make sure that everything is incorporated nicely and it doesn't become so soupy. It's just going to become so creamy and soft and just beautiful and silky. You're going to love this all the way. If this is your first time joining us, or if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe now. Hit on the subscribe button and hit on the bell so you're notified anytime I upload a new content. I have so many amazing recipes here, you'd want to check them out. Over here, I'm adding a sprinkle of salt just to bring out all these lovely flavors in my mashed potatoes. But if you use salted butter, you don't need to use this at all. If you taste it and your salt is okay, you don't also need to use extra salt, okay? Now that we are done mashing, I'm going to put it in my serving bowl, and this is looking just amazing. Please give this video a thumbs up and leave all questions and comments in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer all of your questions, and also do not forget to subscribe. At this point, I just use the back of my spoon to just nicely dress up the top of my mashed potatoes to give it this rustic look. That's how I like mine, okay? No time for smoothing whatsoever. And I'll sprinkle beautifully my green spring onions on there. If you want to go extra, add some melted butter and let it ooze all over the place. And as I scoop my mashed potatoes, can you just tell how creamy this is? It is absolutely creamy, ultra creamy and delicious. I'm having it with some chicken roast. I have this recipe on my channel just before this video, so check it out as well and add all your sauces and enjoy. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and a happy new year to you all. Bye.